No one in the valley wants to see him harmed or captured, and we were asked to keep this location secret. Scientists are divided about the existence of this strange creature. For conventional anthropologists, there are obvious problems with Yowies in Australia. For one thing, how did they get here?
This continent has never been connected by land to mainland Asia, which is why nothing bigger than a rat or a bat, or until humans came, it crossed into Australia. And we brought the dingo, the Aborigines brought the dingo, but a giant ape could cross 40, 50 kilometres. They'd have to be very good oarsmen, raft builders. No, it's nonsense.
Here is that creature, seen by hundreds, if not thousands of people. And how come that creature is here?
Our long night in the Blue Mountains begins. All we can hear are the early evening sounds of suburbia. 50 meters away in the bush, our heat-seeking camera transmits a blank screen. While it's true that some sightings appear to be the work of hoaxers and charlatans, here in the nation's parliament is a Yowie witness whose motives cannot be questioned. Bill O'Chee is a senator in the Australian Parliament. At the age of 13, he was at a school camp in Queensland. From his window of his cabin, Bill was one of the first to see a huge creature.
Basically, we saw a Yowie. We didn't know what they were at the time. We saw a sort of hairy, ape-like thing that probably would have stood about 8 feet tall. It moved in a sort of slightly crab-like fashion, and we observed it for probably about half an hour. We went up afterwards, we saw where it had been lying down in the grass. The impression of the animal was very clear in the grass. We followed it up to the tree line where it had disappeared. I didn't go in, but it was obvious that there was a trail of destruction where it had gone, broken branches and so on. But they lost the track in there. The teachers and boys lost the track. I was one of 2 or 3 boys sitting at the edge of the tree line, looking back down the hill, and it apparently reappeared behind us, but we couldn't see it. That night, there was a lot of noise very late in the night, and when we woke up the next day, we found huge shrubs had been ripped out by the roots, thrown around the surrounding paddock, and that there were very large footprints in the soil. Now, I'm a fairly strong fellow, and there's no way even today I could have ripped plants that size out by my bare hands. So whatever it is immensely powerful.
But the sightings that he and his classmates experienced are still not enough evidence for some.
You can't say that people didn't see something, but unless they have photographs, and funny, with all the cameras in the country, nobody's produced a good photograph. And the only bit of film I've seen of the North American one looks suspiciously like a man in a gorilla suit ambling along. So I'm not saying that people didn't see things, but in the half-light or in the bush or that, and maybe susceptible kids, you know, you can get your imagination worked up, and once one person suggests it, the rest begin to think that they maybe even believe that they've seen it.
No, it wasn't mass hysteria because we didn't know what these things were. There was physical evidence, and importantly, there were masters there as well. When we came back, we were told that we weren't allowed to talk about it. The masters didn't want the word getting out, but they'd seen the evidence as we had.
In the bush, it's now -4 degrees. The heat-sensing camera records only our clumsy progress to change batteries. It's been a disappointing night for us and the local residents. So what is out there? Right now, we don't know. Even solid eyewitness reports don't provide enough physical evidence for anything but speculation. But Dr. Wissowa remains positive.
I escape the inescapable conclusion that there is something there.
Eventually, someone may capture one, or come across physical remains. Until then, the Yowie will stay the monstrous, mysterious beast of the Australian bush.